This movement exploration session is focused on the squat and it's going to challenge areas like your hips, your inner thighs and adductors, your ankles. Of course, feel free to take this sequence and incorporate it into your routine whatever way feels best for you. This can be a great addition into a lower body or squat day, meaning after you go through your initial prep and mobility, maybe add in 5 minutes, even 10 minutes of exploration of this particular sequence before going on to your other strength or skill work. Or you can just add this into a movement break throughout the day as needed. I'm going to take a moment to demonstrate the sequence one time through, and then I'll take a little bit of extra time talking through each of the movements for those of you who need a little bit of extra guidance. The sequence starts in a sumo squat, where we're going to do one per side of a twisting lunge back to the sumo squat. 3 steps, sumo frogger. Cossack squat plus curtsy squat, 3 per side. And that's where you'd start again, back into the twisting lunge. Now, if you have the space, you can certainly continue moving forward, but if space is limited, you can always just turn around and continue back. So here's the breakdown for those who need it. In our sumo squat, we're getting into a wide squat position. So this is gonna be wider than your normal stance. You're allowed to or can have an extra toe out, that is fine. Now you wanna think knees are tracking towards toes. Only lower as far as mobility allows. If you find that you're collapsing in, maybe stay a little bit higher for now until flexibility improves. Making sure that heels and toes are firm into the floor, core is braced. We don't want to be hunching forward or rounding too much through our back. Now you're going to lower as far as flexibility allows. And from here, if I was to go for a right side twisting lunge, I'm going to pivot on my left toes, shift left hand to right quad, and I'm squeezing my right elbow behind facing the right wall. Now, if that's too much, you can always just do a lunge variation of choice. Even both hands on the quads is fine. We're going to shift back to that sumo squat before proceeding to the other side of the twisting lunge. Back to your squat and stand. Next, you're going for the sumo frogger. I'm going to demonstrate from this view so you can see a little bit better. So we're going to still lower into that same sumo squat position. I'm going to reach my hands forward towards the floor. Now notice my arms are staying straight, knees are shifting towards the floor, my heels start to lift. I'm gonna hop my feet forward back to that sumo squat. If you wanted a little bit of an extra burn, you can even add a couple pulses here before your next repetition. After your final step of your sumo frogger, you're gonna straighten those legs, come to stand, where we're gonna do 3 per side of the Cossack plus curtsy squat. What that looks like, the Cossack squat is like a deep lateral lunge. You're gonna step to the side, letting your hips track back, and you're gonna lower as far as flexibility and mobility allow. Now you can play with keeping that foot on the ground, but you can also let that toe rotate if that gives you a little bit of extra range and feels okay. Knee can track over toe, that's fine. Now you can play with foot position as well in terms of foot being a little bit more forward facing or out. There are different ways to tackle this movement. And it's really great to use this type of play and movement exploration time to play with what feels best for you and allows you to get to know your body better. You might find certain positions are completely limited, and that might tell you there's certain areas like your hips and ankles that need more time, but you might surprise yourself to be able to get into a certain position better with a slight adjustment. So after your Cossack squat, I'm going to try and drive through the bottom leg or the leg that's bent and step right into the next repetition of the curtsy squat. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always come to stand and then step behind, that's fine. In our curtsy squat, we're taking that stepping leg and stepping behind into the side. You'll notice in this position as I lower, I'm almost like a little bit of a pretzel. My legs are crossed, knees are tracking forward over toes, and then I go right into my next repetition. Again, you can add that pause in between if balance and strength doesn't allow you to go right from one to the other. Now, I recommended 1 per side of the twisting lunge at the beginning, 3-step sumo frogger, and 3 per side of your Cossack plus curtsy squat. But this is your exploration time. So feel free to add reps, reduce reps, or even throw in movements or locomotion movements that you want to add into the sequence. Make it yours as much as you need. Enjoy.